Hello everybody, Saigan here with more Dream Daddy. It's the live streamed Let's Play. We're going to spend some more time with Robert now. See how things go with him. Last date with Robert was not fantastic, although it really just led to more questions about Mary. Like, I'm spending time with Robert to find out about Mary and Joseph. Had a lot of fun with Robert the last time we hung out, but I'm beginning to wonder if he's dodging me. I've tried messaging him a few times, and Dadbook says he hasn't even read them. Haven't even seen him come out of his house, actually. I decided to send him one last message, figuring that this will produce the same result. Hey man, don't know where you've been, but we should grab a drink soon. I walk away from my computer because at this point I know he's not messaging me back anytime soon. I linger in the kitchen. I'm all caught up on work. The house is relatively clean. Maybe I should do something nice for Amanda. Ah! I will bake her favorite pie. I root through the pantry and pull out all the ingredients. This is an old family recipe that I used to make with my grandmother when I was a kid. I lost the actual recipe card a long time ago, but I think I'll be able to remember how to bake it. I start mixing the ingredients together for the crust until I get a nice dough. I throw some cherries into the saucepan to make the filling. Normally I don't like to multitask in the kitchen, but this cherry pie is a piece of cake. Pie? It's a piece of pie. I'm getting message by Perry. I tried chatting her about Dream Daddy, and I think it just confused her because I didn't provide context. I messaged her like, Mary seems like less of a bitch after dating Robert. She's just like, what? Poor Perry. Must be a pain to be dating me. I'm making a pie. Oh man, I can never remember what temperature you're supposed to set the oven at. I'm pretty sure it's 375, but I could be wrong. No, that sounds good. Who am I kidding? I'm never wrong when it comes to this pie. My special twist on my grandma's recipe includes a secret ingredient that not even Amanda knows about. It really makes the cherries extra flavorful. Hey, Silver Hair! No, you did not miss the stream at all. How cringy has this been so far? It has not been cringy at all. This has actually been a quality title so far, Silver Hair. I'm very much, not ironically, I am unironically enjoying this. God, why can't I remember what the secret ingredient is? More cherries. Salt. Almond extract. Salt has a tendency of bringing out sweetness. I just want to say more cherries, but we're going to go with almond extract? Oh, it's almond extract. Duh. Oops, I accidentally poured a little too much in. Way too much in. I'm sure it's fine. Baking is an art, and some of the most beautiful art is made from mistakes. No, cooking is an art. Baking is a science. I finally get the pie in the oven. How long am I supposed to leave it in there? 50 minutes? I'll just wing it. Amanda's going to be excited. That kid loves a good pie. I have a seat at the kitchen table and do word jumbles until Amanda comes home. I can hear the door slam open. Yo, Pops, what smells like pie in here? Yo, Amanda, pie smells like pie. Amanda darts over to the oven and looks inside. Yes. Hey, it's not done. Be patient. And then it has to cool, too. What's your angle here? What? Pies are an objective-based confection. What are you trying to get out of me? I've been leading a double life. Amanda, I have terrible news for you. I'm actually a pro skateboarder and aspiring astronaut and bank robber. The lifestyle is calling me back and I must go. One last job. You know how it is. This pie was the only way I knew how to tell you. Well, I appreciate the years we've spent together, but a trade-up is a trade-up. Remember me when you're kicking your feet up in Ibiza. Thanks for all the pie. We share a cordial handshake. Wait a few more minutes before taking the pie out of the oven. I set it on a rack to cool and guard it so Amanda doesn't dig into it before it's ready. What? Does it look kind of weird to you? Oh, that's just me taking artistic license on what cherry pie means to me emotionally. I'm just saying this because, you know, it seems like you might have baked this pie incorrectly. And you're currently, right now, trying to pass it off as a good thing. It's art, sweetie. Was it art when you accidentally baked a whole uncracked egg into the center of my 12th birthday cake? Well, it's... Was it art when you tried to make brownies and accidentally created chlorine gas? How? That's a bit of an exaggeration. Was it art when you just eat the pie, Panda? I cut us a few slices when we sit down to eat. The cherry filling oozes out of the sides and the buttery crust glistens. I watch as Amanda takes a bite. What's wrong? Is it not good? Amanda winces and fans her mouth. No, I just burned the heck out of the roof of my mouth. This pie is amazing. Sorry for doubting you. I breathe a sigh of relief and take a bite. She's right. The pie is pretty incredible, as it always is. I'm really proud of you for making a pie without burning the new house down. Oh, Silverhair, it's been great. There's actually been some very quality moments between like your character and your daughter, and the writing for the other dads has been pretty solid. They all feel like people. They're written with personalities instead of just, you know, target acquired, gonna get that dad. They've all been pretty likable in their own ways. I got a few dad tricks up my dad's sleeve. Maybe fathers aren't as bumbling and stupid as the media make us out to be. Maybe we as a society should have a little more respect for fathers as a whole. Hear, hear. Dad, your sleeve is on fire. I run to the sink and put myself out. Pride will be my undoing. Amanda and I clean up the kitchen and play a little more living room hoops before she retreats to her room to do homework. I go back to my word jumbles. Hey, this one spells cat. The rest of my evening trickles by. We eat dinner. I help Amanda with one of her scholarship applications. We both start getting ready for bed. I decide to check Dad Book one last time before I climb into bed. Still nothing from Robert. Huh. Hope he's okay. I turn out the lights and lie down. Oh, hey. Hey. That is the texting of a drunk man. What is that? I was just on the verge of falling asleep. I climb out of bed and try to identify the source of the dinging. My computer screen illuminates the dark room. I walk over to it, ready to turn it off when I notice what's happening on screen. Don't make me honk. I will honk. Get out here. I look out my window, and sure enough, there's Robert leaning up against his pickup truck in my driveway. I open my door and try to figure out what's going on. Hey. Hey? Want to hang? It's kind of sleeping. That's no fun. Come hang out. I would argue that sleeping is very fun, but I don't have to be anywhere in the morning. Might as well live a little. Because nobody here works. Well, I guess Brian works. Brian's a contractor. I have no idea what anyone else does. No, that's not true. Hugo's a teacher. Joseph is a youth pastor. So half of the people on this street have jobs. Matt runs the coffee shop. That's right. Cool. You plan on going out like that? I look down and realize that I am, in fact, not wearing pants. I mean, I don't mind. Robert. Right. 1 second. I run inside and throw on my going out pants, shoes, and a jacket. I have going out pants, too. I grab my keys and meet Robert back outside. We are ready. Hop in. I jump into the passenger seat of his old red pickup truck. I have to move a few empty cigarette packets and gas station receipts out of the way before I can sit. Robert silently starts the car and we drive out of the cul-de-sac. You like Tom Waits? Who doesn't? Before I can answer, Robert turns up the radio. Yep, that is Tom Waits, all right. He lights a cigarette and cracks the window. We drive together in silence. So where are we going? Robert doesn't respond. Robert? Oh, I heard you. He still doesn't answer my question. I look out the window and notice that Robert's taking us to the highway. I twiddle my thumbs. Did I get myself kidnapped? I'm just trying to live a little bit here, and I wound up getting myself kidnapped. This is why I don't go outside anymore. Well, whatever I've gotten myself into, it looks like I'm in it for the night. I settle into my seat and watch streetlights pass by. I glance over to Robert, who's driving intently. He looks tired, as he always does, but there's something a bit more there that I just can't pace. You okay? Just peachy. Stop looking so nervous. I'm not nervous. You're nervous. I'm a little nervous. Just hang on, we're almost there. Almost where? I have no idea where we are. I think we're moving at a slight incline, but I'm not so sure. We eventually come to a stop. Robert gets out of the car, and I sit for a second, unsure if he wants me to get out too. What are you waiting for? I hastily exit the car. Robert sits on the bed of his truck and pats the space next to him. Aw, he brought me to Makeout Point. I sit down and take in the view. We're on a hill overlooking the city skyline against the bay. The cool night air rustles some trees near us as lights blink in the distance. Off to the side, I can see an entrance to a dense forest. Man, it's also gorgeous. This is where I come to masturbate. Robert. No, I'm streaming, sweetie. Why? Streaming. What up? What up? Thanks for sharing, Robert. Dragon Son, welcome to the stream. What? I'm kidding. What's wrong with you? This is my little spot where I come to think. It's nice. You can see the whole city from up here. Really gives you some perspective. Robert reaches behind him and pulls something out from under his jacket. It glints in the moonlight, and I suddenly realize what it is. Oh shit, that's a knife! Robert? Robert? Please? Please, no. Please don't stab me. Robert reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small piece of wood. Please don't stab me with that either. Robert takes the knife to a piece of wood and starts carving at it. Oh. I breathe an audible sigh of relief as Robert looks at me sideways. Do you think I was going to stab you just now? What? No. I hate to break it to you, but I did in fact bring you out here to harvest your organs. Yeah, well, you think you caught me in your trap, but I knew. For years I've been putting the most vile junk food in my body in preparation for this day. Come at me, friend, and reap what you will. 2 steps ahead of you at all times. That's how I operate. Ha! Nothing gets past you, huh? What am I doing, Doki Doki Literature Club? I keep hearing good things about that one. Robert reaches into his pocket and pulls out a folding knife that he opens and hands to me. I'm going to warn you, the last guy I had a knife fight with lost 3 fingers because he didn't know the 8 basic rules of knife fighting. You're familiar, correct? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Perry. Perry never answers her phone when I call her, and she's giving me a hard time about not answering when she called, and it's not fair. It's not fair. I honestly can't tell when you're kidding. I'm so many levels of irony deep, I've forgotten what humor is. He and I laugh. Have you ever whittled before? Considering I'm not a grandpa, no. What do you mean by that? Well, I just thought that you would have had a block of wood shipped to you along with your first social security check. Saigan, I'll have you know that whittling is a time-honored tradition enjoyed by both young and old alike. That you're dismissing it before you've even tried it speaks volumes about your character. However, because I've gotten to know you for some time and have come to think of us as friends, I'm willing to attribute it to ignorance instead of malice. What I'm trying to say is, go get that stick. Robert motions to a good-looking stick on the ground. Perfect for potential whittling. I pick it up. The most important thing to remember while whittling is to cut with the grain, not against it. If you cut against the grain, the wood is going to splinter. Also, always cut away from yourself and make small, small cuts. You're not carving it out. You're slowly carving it off. Isn't the most important thing safety? No. Getting hurt comes with the territory. Look at my damn hands. I look at his damn hands. They're calloused and covered in little white scars. They're very nice hands. You can't make a stick omelet without breaking a few hand eggs.
Knife that wood.
Oh. Oh, am I? I have made a pencil. What is that? It is A sharp stick. It's a knitting needle. Only one? You made a useless knitting needle.
What is this one going to be?
Popsicle stick? Popsicle stick. Popsicle stick, tongue depressor, flatworm. It's a flatworm. Gross. What are we doing now? What are we doing now? Oh wait, can I turn this? Oh, I can turn this. Hang on. Toothpick, bubble popper, something to make me look tougher. It's working. I think you could take me in a fight. Probably. You made tough guy accessory. Are we doing more? What is this? Chicken nugget. I don't know. Ouija board planchette. I don't know. That's just fine. Personal whittling progress. Nice form. What's it supposed to be? Self-portrait. Louisiana. It's you. I carved you. You really captured my likeness. I'm impressed. You made Robert, I guess. This is fantastic. Chopstick. Interesting. What do we have here? An ambidextrous chopstick. It's a stick. Ah, that's a big block of wood. Okay, let's try going slowly this time. I don't know if that's gonna make something better. We'll try turning the wood a little bit also. Okay, all right. All right, maybe it's about the time that we put into it. Maybe it's about that. Gonna make something nice. We're gonna put some time into it. Ah, I fucked it up. If you keep this up, you'll be a whittling pro in no time. It's a swan. It's a duck. It's a new friend. Are we friends? Did we just become friends? He's beautiful. I'm happy for you. Oh my god, it was totally a swan or a duck or something. I couldn't see because I was turning it. Oh, sorry. I'm playing Dream Daddy. Perry sends me a message that she's grumpy, and I'm just like, "Hi, Grumpy. I'm Dad." Oh, am I making a horse now? Oh, it's lovely. Look at that. Beautiful handiwork. What do you call it? Big old dog, the spirit of Mustang, Sir Horsington the Brave. A brave and noble name for a brave and noble creature. I made a beautiful gift for Amanda. There. Robert and I sit in silence for a while, carving our pieces of wood. I think I'm getting the hang of it. It's actually kind of relaxing. I glance over to see what Robert's working on. He's carving a smaller wooden knife. Ag. While I'm distracted, the knife slices into my thumb. Blood gushes all over my little wooden carving. Robert is lost in carving and doesn't notice me bleeding everywhere. Robert still doesn't notice. Robert, I'm dying. I'm bleeding to death. Robert finally looks over. He reaches into his jacket again. Jesus, how much stuff does this guy keep in there? Pulls out a red bandana. He wraps it around my thumb. Hold tight. He hops off the truck, and I can hear him rummaging around in his car. He comes back a moment later with a well-stocked first aid kit. I like this guy! I have 3 first aid kits, guys. In the house. Just in the house, I have 3 first aid kits. I also have one in the car and one in the shed. Robert carefully wipes all the blood off my hand and swipes a bit of antiseptic into the cut. With surprising gentleness, he places a bit of gauze on the wound and wraps it all up. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. He hands me what's left of the tube of antiseptic. Make sure to keep that cut clean. It's oddly touching and a little sexy. I guess I'm a real whittler now. That you are. Be careful, though. They're attracted to the smell of blood. Wait, what? What's attracted to the smell of blood? Cryptids. Tons of them out here, you know. Cryptids, like Mothman and stuff? Yes, like Mothman and stuff. Mothman is bullshit, but yeah. This town's a hotbed for cryptozoological occurrences. You're joking. Oh, how I wish I were. I'm a skeptic myself, or at least I thought I was. There are things in these woods that we can't possibly comprehend. Interesting place to bring somebody for a date, Robert. I think about my entire time in this city, aside from the occasional stray coyote. I don't think it's been too bad. You ever hear of the Dover ghost? Yes. Oh God, we're losing Twitch. Twitch, we back? All right, we back. I'm just giving it a second. You ever hear of the Dover ghost? Yes, I think Dover ghost was actually the inspiration for Blair Witch Project. I don't think so. Well, let me tell you a story. I was out here in the woods on a weekend camping trip with Betsy. You don't know Betsy, but she's a big pup, pit bull, real intimidating. I feel safe around her. First night goes without incident. I get some solitude. Betsy gets to pee wherever she wants. All good stuff. Second day, I get the idea into my head that I can hike deeper into the woods, probably against my better judgment. But hey, we're just having a fun camping trip, right? So me and Betsy start marching in the morning. It gets a little late and we set up camp, but it's different this night. Real quiet. Can't hear the birds, the crickets, squirrels, nothing. Dead silent. Then it happens. I hear the most unholy growl I've ever heard in my life. Right outside my tent. Me and Betsy, we go to investigate. We look around the clearing. Nobody's there. But then there's this feeling. Not sure if I can describe it. I know something is watching us. Betsy, though, she's scared. Never seen her like that. When she's scared, I know I should be too. Then I see it. In the distance. A man, but if something that didn't know what a man was supposed to look like made it, it just looked wrong. Arms too big for its body. Black eyes. It just stood there and stared at me. Then it disappears. I hear one yelp from Betsy and I turn around to check on her, but she's gone into thin air. I didn't sleep at all in my tent that night, and I don't think I've ever slept right since. Well, that's terrible. Wow, Robert. Oh. I'm so sorry. They say that if you listen closely on quiet nights just like tonight, you can hear the howl of the Dover ghost. A howl resonates through the woods. It doesn't sound like a regular howl. It's so guttural. Even from far away, something about it makes my skin crawl. Okay, Robert, real funny. I turn to look at Robert. He's white as a sheet. You are messing with me, right? I was messing with you up until literally just now. I totally made that camping story up. I strained my eyes to scan the forest line, trying to see where the howl originated from. Off in the distance, I see something. It's so far away, I barely can make out a shape. It looks human, but it's dragging something. Do you see that? We should go. Robert and I slowly back away and get into the truck. He turns off his headlights while we make a slow crawl away back onto the road. I'm too scared to look back. What was that? The Dover ghost, I guess. I chuckle nervously. This time he doesn't seem like he's messing with me. Or maybe someone illegally dumping garbage on a wildlife preserve. Yeah, that's the story we'll tell ourselves. We sit in silence for a little while longer. The fear of whatever that was slowly subsiding as we get closer to the city. Thanks for coming out. This was fun. I'm sorry I haven't been in touch. I've just been in a way lately. I had to get out of the house. Had to be around somebody. You doing okay, man? Robert thinks for a second and lights another cigarette.
Hey.
I've been doing a lot of thinking. It takes a long drag. As I get older, I feel more and more that I'm just drowning in this sea of regret. I was so busy chasing after these things that I thought would make me happy that I didn't think about anyone else. All I cared about was myself. I didn't even think... Robert stops. I wait for him to finish his thought, but he just stares at the road. Maybe I'm just built like this. Or maybe I do it to myself. Maybe it's my own choice that I'm as unhappy as I am. I try to think of something to say. I remember all the times in my life where I've been sad. There's a great many of them, but there was always a light at the end of the tunnel. Something I held on to that kept me going. But there's something so resigned about the way Robert's talking. I mean, usually this is where you just say, that sucks. But I'm also like the first person that Robert's reached out to in a couple of days, apparently. I'm glad you told me. It seems... I think he just needs a that sucks. He just needs somebody to listen to him right now. It really sucks. Hang in there, buddy. Yeah, it sucks all right. No! Fuck, I messed it up! Wait. Okay, I know. I'm doing that too much. I'm doing it too much. But nobody judge me, all right? No, but nobody judge me. I'm glad you told me. Must have taken a lot for you to want to tell somebody this. You're a mysterious guy, Robert. You don't have to be. Do you ever wish you were a better father? Oh, God, daily. I think about it for a second. All the time. You can read all the parenting books you want, but nothing will ever prepare you for raising a child. There's so much stuff I regret or wish that I could have done better. I don't have the answers. I don't know if anyone does. It's funny, I look at you and your relationship with your daughter, and it seems perfect. It isn't. At least you're there for her. I stare out the window at the blur of passing trees. I just hope I'm a better father to my kid than my dad was to me. What did your dad do? It's more about what he didn't do. He was quiet, stoic. Don't think he ever once told me that he loved me. He cared more about his work than he ever did about me or my mom. Do you hate him? No, I used to, but after I became a parent, I just kind of feel bad for him. He missed out on my whole childhood. When I think about all the happiest moments in my life, there was Amanda and Alex, and he just wasn't there. It hurt like hell when I had to leave him to die in that Belarusian prison.
Really?
What? I turn and smile at him. No, he's retired in Florida with my mom. We go there every Christmas. We both break out into laughter. The eggplants again! He pats me on the shoulder. We drive the rest of the way in silence, listening to the radio and watching the bright lights of the city grow bigger. Robert drops me off at my place. I'm about to close the passenger door. I realize that I still have Robert's pocket knife in my jacket. I pull it out and offer it back to him. You hold on to that. Never know when you might need it. Night, Robert. Have a safe drive home. Robert smirks, then pulls away. Then immediately pulls into his own driveway, which is one over from mine. He gets out and waves. I tiptoe into the house, careful not to wake Amanda up. Whoa, where'd you come from? I look around and spot Amanda coming out of the kitchen with a glass of water. I thought you were sleeping. Oh, Robert woke me up to go cryptid hunting. You know the Mothman is bullshit, right? Amanda? Language... You know what? It's fine. I think about the conversation I had with Robert in the car as Amanda starts walking towards her room. Hey, Amanda. She stops. I love you. It's weird when you say it outright and sincerely like that, but I love you too. Night. I chuckle to myself, then finally decide to go to bed. I totally cheated. But... apparently I sucked at whittling. Did he just say we're going to need a bigger boat? It's a beautiful night and the air smells so fresh. So I decide to take the long way home. I casually stroll through the neighborhood, taking in the sights and sounds of a suburban city with low crime rate and wide walkable sidewalks at night. As I approach the bar, I can hear patrons inside cheering. Oh, I bet the game is on. I wonder if my team is playing tonight. A drop of water hits my head. Now it's lots of drops of water. It's pouring rain. Maybe I should wait this out inside. I order a beer from the bar and settle in. It turns out that my team isn't playing tonight, but I can certainly enjoy the game. Regardless, the bar is unusually crowded, and the feeling of camaraderie over a shared love for the game makes me smile. Sports are nice. I look over into the corner and spot none other than Mary sitting alone and in the corner nursing a cocktail. Something about her seems different this time. Now that she's by herself and not hanging off some younger guy, she looks so sad. She looks up and half-heartedly raises her glass to me before staring off into middle distance. Oh, we're going to go talk to Mary. I decide to go say hello. I walk over to her booth. She doesn't look up. The seat taken? She still doesn't look up. I take a seat anyways, and she finally notices me. Hey, cowboy. You alright? Never better. She hiccups. Guess she's a little far gone. Tears start welling up in her eyes. Oh. Will you walk a gal home? Yes, I will. I slide out of the booth. Seems like Mary's having some trouble getting up. I reach out a hand to help her, but she waves me away. I got it. I got it. She clearly does not got it. You know what? Hang out here for a second. I walk over to the bartender and pay Mary's tab. Hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I live in Mary's cul-de-sac, and I'm just making sure she gets home safe tonight. I know you. Yeah, it's nothing weird, just... She usually has one of the bar staff walk her home, but I trust you. She doesn't, go home with... I don't really want to say it. One of the guys she meets. Nah. Nah? Ain't her thing. Huh. I head back to the booth. Mary stumbles out of the seat and directly under my arms. It's still raining a little bit. I take off my coat and hold it over Mary's head. Such a gentleman. Let's get you home. Mary and I walk in silence up the street towards the cul-de-sac. I have no idea what to say to her for fear she might hit on me. Or not. What did the bartender mean by ain't her thing? Sorry you have to see me like this. I'm usually not... I know Joseph doesn't like it when I just... Sorry. It's alright. I'm sorry if I'm ever mean to you. It's alright. No, it's not. I know it's not. I'm having a really... Forget it. As we get to the cul-de-sac, I can feel Mary starting to slow down. By the time we arrive at the doorstep, she pulls away from me. Wait. Can we just... Hold on. What's wrong? How about another drink? Old time's sake. Come on, Mary, it's bedtime. Mary looks me up and down, giving me a half smile. You're right. She pulls me in close for a hug, holding on to me a little longer than feels appropriate. She mumbles into my chest. You're a good kid. Thanks for the company. Mary gives me a pat on the back, straightens out her sweater, and walks the rest of the way to her front door by herself. Huh.
Welcome. You got that.
I feel like I won't find out more of Mary's story if I don't do more of Robert's. It's frustrating. There's so many plot lines I want to follow to the end. Stupid visual novels. Let's hit up Brian. So I can embarrass myself fishing. Oh, I have a message from Brian. Oh no, I've been dreading this day. I accidentally boasted about my abilities as a fisherman to Brian, and now he's challenging me to another dad-off. I've been doing my fishing research online, but I'm nowhere close to being an expert. Still, though, I have to accept. I type back to Brian. Sounds great, man. Super excited to catch all those fish, and my lawn could use another good mowing. That'll show him. Brian responds back, letting me know that tomorrow he'll pick us up at an hour I had previously forgotten existed. Man, that's going to be a rough start. Amanda comes into the room from the kitchen, eating a cheese stick by biting it off piece by piece like some kind of monster. I do it too! I didn't raise you like that. What? It's called string cheese, not chompy cheese, for a reason, Amanda. Did you call me in here just to criticize my controversial string cheese eating technique or what? No, Amanda, we have to go fishing tomorrow. Well, you have to go fishing. I get to play with Brian's dog. How do I become a master of fishing overnight? You went fishing in the Girl Scouts, didn't you? Nope. My stint in the Scouts was brief and purely transactional. Thought I could get free cookies, but I didn't know that I had to, like, be outside and tie knots and stuff. I have to beat Brian. Dad, let me tell you a story. Do you remember last summer how I applied for a job at that coffee shop across town? Give me a refresher. During the interview, they asked me if I knew how to work an espresso machine, and I really wanted the job, so I lied and said yes. On that first morning, there was a line out the door, and within half an hour, I severely burned my hand, and they told me to go home and never come back. I still have a scar from that. Of course I remember. What does that have to do with fishing? The burn is a metaphor, Dad. I don't get it. You can lead a horse to water. What do horses have to do with fish and burns? Dad, please! I don't get your obsession with competing against Brian. You wouldn't understand. It's a dad thing. Please try explaining it to me. Okay, Brian's just... He just thinks that he's so much better than me and purposefully reminds me of that whenever he can. It's like he has to one-up me. I have to beat him at his own game. Is that what you think is happening here? No, Amanda. Okay, good. I know that's what's happening. All right, Pops. We should both be getting some sleep. See you in the morning? Night, Panda. I brush my teeth and throw on some pajamas. I climb into bed, set my alarm, and close my eyes. Okay. Sleep. Every night. I am wide awake. I can't help but think about the last time I went fishing, hoping that there's something I can glean from it to give me an edge over Brian. I was about 9 years old, and my dad woke me up one morning and told me to get dressed and meet him downstairs. It was still dark out. I had no idea what was going on, but before I knew it, we were both alone on a freezing cold lake. I had to sit there for hours while it got hot and muggy, the air thick with bugs. I picked at mosquito bites while my dad sat in stony silence, fishing pole in one hand, beer in the other. We didn't catch anything. On the long drive home, my father bought me a pack of cigarettes and didn't say a thing. That didn't help, and I think I have some repressed sadness about my father. I'll deal with that later. I'm sitting on a boat in the middle of a body of water. I can't see any land, but I know it's a lake. The water is placid and still. I'm holding a fishing pole. I don't understand why, but it feels like my life depends on catching fish right now. I cast my lure into the water and wait, and wait, and wait. My whole being is filled with hopelessness as I watch the line disappear into the depths below. You used the wrong lure. I look up and see my father, just as he looked that one cold morning. Disapproving. I'm panicking now. I pull the lure up and try to grab a different one, but all the lures in my tackle box are the exact same. I look up to my father for guidance, but he's gone. I try casting again, but I can't hold my footing. My boat tips over and I fall into the water, sinking further and further. I see the multitudes of fish that had been lying just below the surface, all swimming around me as if to taunt me. One fish swims up to me. He has Brian's eyes. You gotta use a neutral buoyancy lure if you're trying to catch trout, buddy. I jolt awake to the sound of my alarm. It's fishing day. That would explain the weird dream. I groggily slip on clothes and get ready. I spot Amanda's door half open and see her still curled up in a mountain of blankets. Walking over to her bed, I give her a tiny kiss on the forehead. Fishing day, kiddo. You ready? No. Well, you gotta get up. I can't do this without you. I just realized... Did Perry make a solid save of any of her stuff? Yes, she did. Okay. Also, stop sleeping in your clothes. It only runs so many autosaves, so if you don't manually save your game, those autosaves rewrite. It only keeps like 10 of them in a loop. I don't want Perry to lose her progress. Amanda pulls her comforter over her head. Never. Amanda. I'll get up in a minute. Alright, Brian should be here in 20, so you better not just go back to sleep. Amanda sticks her hand through the blanket to wave me away. I leave her room and make myself some coffee and another cup with lots of cream and sugar for Amanda, whenever she gets up. Amanda eventually wanders in and chugs her coffee while I do word jumbles. I hear the doorbell ring. That must be Brian. Still rubbing our eyes, we walk outside to see Brian. He's decked out in fishing gear. Daisy's falling asleep next to him. Early bird gets the worm, buddy. You ready to fish? I was born ready. My eyes narrow in on Brian. It's a good day to die. Spoken like a true Klingon. Hop on in, guys. Let's get this fishing party started. I'll walk over to the driver's side door and open it. Woof, woof. Brian's dog immediately hops into the driver's seat, wagging his tail furiously. Can I see your license, sir? Maxwell, let Saigan sit. Maxwell obediently hops into the back to cuddle with Daisy. Amanda settles in next to Maxwell and Daisy and immediately falls asleep. You ready for an adventure? I'm ready for glory. I struggle to stay awake as we drive to the outskirts of town. Country music plays quietly from the radio as I watch trees pass by. So where exactly are we headed? It's about an hour north of here, a little spot I've been going to since I was a kid. My dad used to take me there all the time. I don't think anyone else knows about it. I brought everything we need so that we can catch some trout, have a nice little fire, and enjoy the nature. My fishing pole's in the shop, getting it tuned up. Do you maybe have an extra I could borrow? But of course, it's probably not as nice as it sounds like yours is, though. Right. I'm digging a hole here. I stare out at the forest lining the highway. The sun is just barely over the horizon, scattering dusty pink light through the trees. For a split second, I spot a deer grazing on the side of the road before it leaps back into the brush. After a nice, quiet drive, Brian eventually tells me to pull off the highway and onto a dirt road. The car bumps along until we reach a clearing that opens up to a magnificent lake. Well, here we are. I step out of the car and help Brian unload our gear as Maxwell runs around us barking. The kids wake up and wander to the shore where Daisy tries to teach Amanda how to skip rocks. Brian and I carry the tackle boxes and cooler down to the edge of the lake where he has a canoe waiting. Ah, great, it's still in one piece. Hold on, help me out with Maxwell. I help Brian place a tiny dog-sized life vest on Maxwell. Woof woof. All right, your turn. Brian hands me a lime green life vest. Maybe if I fall in, you'll save me. I can swim, thanks. No, thanks. It doesn't matter if you can swim or not. You still wear the life vest. If I fall in, I'm counting on you to rescue me. Suit yourself. Brian turns to Amanda and Daisy, who are still skipping rocks. You kids want to fish? I'm good with just throwing rocks in the water. Amanda hurls a rock into the pond with gusto. Yeah, take that, water. Amanda, you're supposed to be skipping them. Is that what we're doing? Daisy, don't you want to fish? I think catching fish is kind of inhumane. We're going to go explore in the woods and look at bugs and stuff. All right, be safe. Don't go too far. Brian puts the life vest around himself, and we throw all our equipment into the canoe. Maxwell happily jumps in and takes his place, looking out over the front of the boat. I get into the canoe as Brian shoves off. We paddle together to get ourselves to the middle of the lake. Most freshwater fish usually feed at dusk and dawn, which is why I had to get you up so early. Yeah, I know. That's pretty common fisherman knowledge, after all. Fisherman knowledge that I am knowledgeable about. Still a gambling man? You know it. Let's see who can catch more fish. You can catch more than one? Sounds easy enough to me. What's on the line? Besides all the fish I'm going to catch, obviously. I was thinking something a little more high stakes than mowing the lawn. Custody of our children? More than that. Let's say, if I win, I get your weed whacker. The Whackmaster 2000? That's a limited edition. But if you win, you get my pole saw. The Reach and Cut 3000. The cordless version? That's the one. Shit, the Reach and Cut 3000 is state-of-the-art. My weed whacker is a prized possession, but there are those hard-to-reach branches at the back of the yard that have been begging for a pruning. You're on. No! We shake on it. I suddenly remember I don't know how to fish. My foolish fatherly pride will one day be my undoing. I watch as Brian ties a lure and does some stuff I can't quite follow with his fishing pole. He casts into the lake. Oh boy, now I have to do that. I stare down at the tackle box and at the pole in my hand. Put some bait on the hook. Insult the fish. Stretch before physical activity. Put bait on hook. I fish a worm from the styrofoam container Brian caught. It's slippery, but I think I can get it onto the hook if I just focus. Oh god, I'm bleeding. Oh god, the blood is everywhere. The worm is not on the hook. I am on the hook. Need some help? No, I meant to do that. The blood attracts the fish. They can smell it up to a mile away, you know. I think that's sharks. No, it's definitely fish. Now what? Tie a knot or something. Meditate, perform fish mating call. Tie a knot or something. I take my pole and try to tie an elaborate-looking knot to impress Brian. The classic hunter's bend. I learned that one in my youth. Yep, This one isn't coming apart anytime soon. With this knot I will cast my heavenly line upon the unsuspecting water and deliver unto us a bountiful harvest. I look over to Brian. He doesn't seem to be paying attention. Let's cast this sucker. I pull my rod back and launch the lure as hard as I can. And the lure flies off the line and sails far, far away, landing in the lake with a loud sploosh. Sorry, I judged the wind speed wrong. This cold air drives the pressure down. Go ahead and take my pull. I know it's hard switching to a new pull you're not used to. I'll fix up another lure. He's so nice! Brian hands me his pull with a smile, and I just sit there feeling like an idiot. Fishing around here is easy. They group up. All you gotta do is line up 3 of the same species to reel them in. I need to match 3 of the same species. I can't tell which fish is which. Catch that fish!
Nice catch. Match of the day. Nice catch. Nice
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
Nice match. Now you're fishing catch of the day.
What? Oh, that's the bullhead catfish. They're bottom-dwelling invasive species now found worldwide. They taste great fried. No. Yes.
Nice match. Nice catch. Catch of the day.
Ooh, 4. Go for 4. Oh, there's a rainbow trout there. How does the rainbow trout work? Is it a wild card?
Nice catch.
Oh, God, it clears the entire line. All right. That is now a thing I know. Crap, I hate this kind of game. I swear. I swear. I swear. No. No. No, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. I can't see anything. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay.
Nice
Okay.
catch. Nice catch. Nice match. Catch of the day.
Okay. All right. Okay, fish. Fish, 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 fish. Here. Fish, 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 fish. Here. Fish, 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 fish. Oh no. No! No! Crap. Really? Us plus? Okay. Sure, I think that was a bit generous. Well, alright. Good work. Zergy! Thank you for the sub! Hello and welcome, my friend. It's good to see you. Wow, this is way tougher than I thought. I look over to Brian, who's smiling and obviously enjoying his time out here on the lake. I will crush him. Suddenly, the fishing pole jumps in my hand. I reflexively tug upwards. I think I got something big. Tip of the pole dips down repeatedly and the line starts to run. Reel it in! I finally get the fish right up next to the boat. It's a long, beautiful rainbow trout. Brian hands me a net. It's all yours. I lean down and notice that my hands are shaking with excitement. This fish is bigger than all the ones Brian's caught. That pole saw is mine, all mine, and I fell in. The entire canoe flips over with me. I find myself sinking into the lake. I should have taken the life vest. All of a sudden, I'm embraced under the water and pulled into Brian's arms. I'm finally dragged upwards, sputtering water. All our gear floats on the surface. Maxwell doggy paddles around us in circles, having a great time. You all right? Does that count as one? Well, seeing as all of our fish are now swimming safely back in the lake, I guess so. Brian laughs. Let's get you to shore. Brian and I flip the canoe back over and fill it with our now soaking wet gear. We row back to shore with Maxwell in tow. Once we get to the beach, Maxwell darts off into the woods. Brian takes off his shirt. Dots of lake water glisten in the sun across his strong back. Man, all that general contracting must have built that guy like an ox. I hope he doesn't notice me staring. I'm gonna get a fire going so we can dry off. Want to hand me yours? Yes. Okay. Abyss, thank you for the sub. For the bears. I reluctantly take off my own shirt and toss it to Brian. Suddenly wish I'd done more sit-ups in my life. Or any setups at all, really. Another thing you've bested me in, stupid sexy Brian. You might as well fry that shirt up. Seems like it's the only lunch we'll have. The day is young. We can fish from the shore. Once Brian gets the fire going, I sit and try and dry off my pants. Brian sets a couple lures out by the water's edge. We're probably going to have to put the kibosh on the competition now. Until another day. My stomach growls. You hungry? Oh, I'm fine. Brian reaches into his cargo shorts and pulls out a few granola bars. I have a small child. I am flushed with snacks. Brian joins me by the fire, and I accept cargo shorts granola. And now we're back to waiting. Where did the girls get off to? Shouldn't they be back by now? I wouldn't worry about it too much. They're a couple of smart kids. That's what I'm worried about. They're too smart. They've probably established a small rural government by this point and installed themselves as leaders. I take a look around at the sun cresting in the tree line, casting the entire lake in a warm golden glow. The forest seems to be coming alive now. Birds chirp in the distance. Wow, nature is beautiful. A mosquito bites me. I slap my neck and curse. Nature sucks. Here you go, bud. Brian hands me a bottle of bug spray. I begrudgingly take it and douse myself. Clinically shown to not actually do jack or shit. Ugh, I've always hated how this stuff smells. Really? I've always kind of liked it. Reminds me of being outside. Maybe you and I have different sentiments on the outdoors. Maxwell comes bounding up to me, a huge stick in his mouth. He drops it at my feet and looks at me expectantly. Break the stick in half to assert your dominance? Fake out throw. Throw the stick towards the woods. I hurl the stick as hard as I can towards the tree line. Maxwell bolts after it, running as fast as his stubby little legs can carry him, which consequently is not very fast. It is cute, though. Nice throw, Saigan. I turn away so he can't see me blush. Maxwell brings the stick back to me, clearly proud of himself. Good boy, Maxwell. You're a very good and speedy boy. You are the world champ of fetch. It's time for the pets. What's the plan? Butt pats never fail. Scratch behind his ear. Rub that belly! Maxwell rolls over and lets me rub his belly. He wiggles on the grass, clearly loving it. I feel like a bit of a third wheel here. Where are my belly rubs? Uh-oh. 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 I'm so flustered I can barely say anything. I just focus on petting Maxwell and hope Brian doesn't notice how much I'm sweating. While I'm playing with Maxwell, fish begin routinely pulling on Brian's lines. I watch Brian effortlessly fillet the fish, squeezing a bit of lemon on them and frying them up on a cast iron pan. Before we know it, we have a feast fit for a couple of shirtless dudes. Amanda and Daisy emerge from the woods, looking totally unscathed. Whoa, Dad Bod Patrol. I'm going to have to issue you both a citation and demand you both put your shirts on. There are children present. Brian tosses me my now dry shirt. I pull it over my head, thankful I will no longer be distracted by Brian and his pecs. Where have you guys been? Studying entomology. What? We were playing with bugs. I expected you guys to be more covered in, like, mud and stuff. Daisy looks offended. What do you take me for, a child? Amanda puts a hand on Daisy's shoulder.
Aww.
Right. Yeah, Silverhair, the majority of visual novels have choices, even if it's just a couple of them. There's very few. In fact, none that even come to mind that don't. We take a seat around the fire and Brian serves us all generous piles of fish on paper plates. It's absolutely delicious. Why does he have to be good at everything? Fish taste okay? Daisy and Amanda both nod furiously, mouths full of fish. It's incredible. I've never had fish this good. Yeah, it's great. Old Harding family recipe. Fire and lemon. Why are your pants wet? Well, Amanda, we were out there on the lake and then I accidentally tipped over that boat. Don't worry, all of the gear floated to the surface, so we didn't lose anything. Right, Saigan? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I can't believe he just covered for me. Gosh, he even out-humbles me. He's trying to beat me at everything, including my world-famous sense of humility. We finish our fish and end up playing catch with Maxwell for a little while before we decide to head out. After cleaning up the camp, we pack up the station wagon and let Maxwell into the back seat. The poor pup falls asleep in a cuddle puddle with Amanda and Daisy. They've had a long day. Been an ordeal today, bud. Let me drive you guys home. Dating sims can be a lot more complicated than visual novels. My favorite series is actually an action-adventure with fighting monsters. Mel, what is that? That sounds good. I want to prove that I'm the most awake dad on the block, but yeah, I'm beat. Fine. As we drive away, I take one last look at the lake disappearing behind us and smile. I rest my head against the window, and the low rumble of the dirt road beneath us lulls me into a peaceful sleep. What? Harukanaru Toki no Nakade. I'm not familiar with that one, but I'm going to copy that real quick. I'm going to throw it into Google, and I'm going to leave myself a tab. Bam! Beyond the stream of time. Oh, hey, got an English release. Wow. I don't understand what you're asking me, Haywen. Why is this guy such a dude bro? No, Brian's not the dude bro. Craig is the dude bro. The games have never been translated? That's weird. When I pulled it up on... Oh, it's the manga. The manga got translated. Okay. By Viz. That's what I was looking at. Okay. My bad. Hey, sleepyhead. I open my eyes and realize I dozed off in the car. I self-consciously wipe a bit of drool off my chin. Oh, hey, I was resting my eyes. Just in case we suddenly have to jump into any sort of conflict, so I'm super awake for it and ready to fight with my strong arms. It's all good. You earned some rest, buddy. Thanks for coming out with us today. I had a lot of fun with you. Thanks for inviting us. I also had fun, actually. Thank you for saving my life. Glad to hear it. Take it easy, yeah? You too. Take it the easiest. Brian chuckles to himself as he unloads the car. Amanda and I get inside and immediately collapse onto the couch. Long day. Yep. I was so close to that pole saw. Pole saw? Yeah, Brian and I were competing to see who could catch the most fish, and... stop! Why do you care so much? Manda Panda. Just look at the guy. He's so obviously got my number, and he's rubbing my face in it. Dad, I love you, but you're kind of dumb sometimes. Dumb? Or clearly the superior dad. You know what? I don't have any of the energy required to properly unpack your weird fixation with asserting your masculinity. Also, Brian's just trying to impress us. I don't think he's trying to outdo us. I'm going to bed. Good night. Amanda slides off the couch and face down onto the floor. I am a tired slug. Amanda, that floor is disgusting. I don't care. Well, good night, honey. Night, Pops. Date complete! I wish I could just come clean with him.
What an amazing date!
Right? Right? Okay, it is time for me to take a break. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you for watching, everybody. See you all soon.